Hey guys, today I have another encouragement series episode for you called It's Not Your Fault. Now you might wonder what I mean by that, and what I mean is that when you're going through eczema, it's really not your fault that you're going through this, especially if you're doing the best that you can. And it's not your fault that you live with this, and I want you to know that you don't have to blame yourself for it, and I don't want you to beat yourself up because you have it, and I don't want you to feel the guilt and the shame and embarrassment of living with this, because it's not your fault for having this. And this really hit me really hard one time when I was getting blood taken out for my blood test, and usually every time I get my blood tested, I lift up my sleeve for my arm, and whenever there's like scars and rashes, I just feel like I'm always apologizing to the nurse who's taking my blood, and I'm always saying, I'm so sorry, I have eczema, and I feel kind of bad about it that they have to see it, and I feel the shame inside. And usually the nurses are always really nice. They're always like, it's okay. This one nurse, she was helping me one day, and I said the usual same thing. I just said, sorry, I have eczema. And she said to me, no, don't apologize. It's not your fault. And after she said that, something in me just really, I felt like I almost teared up inside. I felt like something in me was just, I felt kind of touched in a way, because for the first time I realized that, hey, it's not my fault that I have this, and I shouldn't keep blaming myself, and I shouldn't be apologizing for it every time. And I want you to know that as well, that this is not your fault if you have this, and that I really hope that you can be in a place where you can forgive yourself if you've been beating yourself up for having this, if you've been blaming yourself. I know that I used to blame myself all the time, and I also used to blame my dad, actually, because my dad had really bad eczema when he was younger, but he actually healed from it just naturally. Like, one day it just started healing, and he didn't even have to try as hard as I did with all these natural remedies. But when he was 18, his skin just started healing, and I remember I said to him when I was a young kid, I was like, I hate you for giving this to me, and why do I have to have this out of everyone, and my brother doesn't even have this, and no one else I know has this. And it was really, really tough. So I blamed him a lot, and I feel like that happens to a lot of us, especially to the clients that I work with, the people in my 8-week group coaching program. I noticed that a lot of us really take it in internally sometimes. And so that's the one encouragement piece that I really want to leave with you today, is that it's not your fault. Remember to forgive yourself and be easy on yourself. Pat yourself on the back for even being able to successfully go through this, because it's not easy. It's really, really tough. And I remember one time my mom said to me that, I thought that you were so brave for going through this. And she never told me during my flare-ups that she thought I was brave, but it was after I went through it. And I never heard her say those words before. And so, I never even had that kind of encouragement when I was going through my flare-ups. So that's why I created this, and I want you to hear it today, that it's not your fault, and that you are so brave for going through this. And you should feel so proud of yourself for making it through this, when so many people don't understand what you have to go through, and so many people don't even understand the extent to which you probably are suffering inside or crying inside. I know for me, I just feel like no one really understood, and I thought that I cried more tears than anyone else in this world at one point, because they didn't understand the suffering. But you'll get through this. You will overcome this. Just remember that small steps can make a big difference, and don't give up hope. Remember that you should feel so proud of yourself for even making it through this. And I know I've repeated some words in this podcast today, like it's not your fault, and that you should be proud of yourself and that you're brave. But I say that so that it will stick in your mind, it will stick in your heart, so that even after you leave and after you hear this podcast, you will just go out and about with your day, and you will just remember those words, because sometimes we have to hear it more than once so that it'll really stick inside of us. So I just want to remind you with that, and I want to remind you that you can get through the hardest times with this eczema, because I know that it's not easy sometimes. So thank you again for listening and being a part of this. And if you want more information on articles or tips to get through this and to help your skin heal, you can always visit my website, primephysiquenutrition.com. You can check out my store page if you want any products to help heal your skin, like my Conquer Soothing Dry Skin Balm, which has shipped to over 20 countries, my bath treatment to help bring relief to your skin. There's eczema gloves, ebooks, and my 8-week group coaching program, where I just love interacting with people all over the world and just helping them with their skin heal. And so thank you so much for being here today. And just remember that you can heal, that nothing is impossible, and that together we can get through this, and together we are more than conquerors. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Eczema Podcast, and stay tuned for our next episode. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass it along to your friends and colleagues. Visit primephysiquenutrition.com for more articles and tips. Thanks for listening.